Nobody warns you about this part of tinnitus. Doctors don't warn you about the heavy psychological impact it has on you. You know, the medical industry sees it as, well, it's just a ringing. Let's just get on with it and just live with it. But they don't understand when you're in it, when you're in that despair, it's a nightmare. It's an actual hell. Like, I couldn't imagine hell being much worse, to be honest with you, because it makes you feel trapped and claustrophobic. It's like the sound invades your head, and you don't have that peace in your psyche anymore. It's invaded with a chronic sound, and it's just all the time, and it never shuts out, never turns off. So like telling someone you're gonna have to live with that is like, why would you ever say that? But that's what doctors say, and so it's never explained by ENTs, by doctors, by psychologists. It's never explained just how debilitating it is. I mean, it robs you of your concentration. I remember when I had it, I couldn't think, I couldn't build websites, I couldn't make videos, I couldn't do anything. I was just stuck in a panic state about this sound that was in my head that I couldn't shut off. Nobody ever told me that. Nobody ever explained that to me. A doctor never explained that. An ENT never explained that. An audiologist never explained it. For as much breakthroughs as like modern medicine has, and for as many tinnitus sufferers as ENTs and audiologists see, they never thought to explain the psychological component to people. It never occurred to them. They never had a primer on it. Like it's just, it blows my mind that's never explained. You have to go on YouTube and find videos like this to explain it. Anyway, the ramifications of that not being explained are, you believe your mind when it tells you, well, we're doomed, we're hopeless. This, how could anyone live like this? And in that panic state where you're in fight or flight and your amygdala's hijacked and you can't sleep and you're doom thoughting, dooms are, you know, spiraling and all this, your thoughts and all that. And no one can live like that. I agree. Like that state, no one can live that like that. But they don't tell you that like that state can be something you can get past. They don't explain where you're at. They don't explain to you what you're feeling like. They don't explain how bad it is, and they don't explain you how to get out of it because they don't even know what it's like. That's the real failure, right? And so what these people do is they're trying to find answers, because wouldn't you? Of course you would. You want to find an answer. You want to find some sort of relief. So they congregate in these Facebook groups and in these Reddit threads, and they just basically just, they go in there. Everyone in there is commenting when they're in the worst place. So you have to understand, when you're reading these horror stories, you're reading someone in their worst place. That's why these Facebook groups are not good, because one person goes in there, they're in a bad place, and then another person goes in there and they're in a bad place, and then they just feed off each other, and they just spiral and spiral and spiral. And that's another thing they don't tell you. That's another thing they don't tell you. They don't tell you stop Googling it. You need to stop putting your life around it and making your identity around it. They don't tell you this. So they literally, you walk in with a ringing in your ears. You're in a panic state. You don't know how to think. You don't have your concentration. You can't sleep. You're on edge. You're not happy. You're literally losing it. And they don't tell you. They don't tell you how you feel. They don't take the time to understand where you're at. They don't give you any sort of tips and tricks like don't go on the Facebook group. Don't ruminate about it. They don't give you anything about that stuff. And they just send you on your way. Well, figure it out. And that's not been everyone's experience, but by and large, the people I talk to, the people I coach, that's been a lot of their experience. That's been my experience personally. So it does happen to enough people where it's a problem. Like, I just think that if they could just explain to people where they're at, and people would feel heard, they would feel understood, they would feel like, okay, I'm not alone. That alone takes away 50% of the suffering. Just understanding, okay, you're not hopeless, you're not doomed, we understand where you're at, this is a temporary experience that you can get past. If you just explain that to people, which that's true, if you just explained it to people, you would help so many people by literally 2 sentences of truth. But no ENT can do that. No doctor does that. No one can simply do that. And that's to me is a travesty. We're not telling the people to give them a whole habituation course and redo your entire practice. Just literally read a couple of truthful sentences to them about how they're stuck in a temporary panicked anxiety state, and there are things you can do to get you past it. That alone would literally help so many people. So this is what they don't tell you. This is what they don't tell you that I wish they would tell you, because I think it would save so many people so much suffering, keep them from going to the Facebook groups, the doom groups as I call it. The people in there chronically searching for cures, and that's a whole other thing. But I'm going to stop this video here. If you're dealing with tinnitus and it's literally hijacked your life, get my 7-day course below for free when you sign up to the app. 7-day free trial, cancel anytime. Make sure to smash the like button. Doesn't cost you anything to like this video and to subscribe, but it really helps the algorithm. Share this video with a friend who was going through tinnitus. I really appreciate this community so much. I'll talk to you later. Peace.